obstacles, and you have a lot of people that you thank for getting the position that you have. And that's very true of me. My parents recognized at an early age I was good with numbers. And they said, you should be an accountant. That was an opportunity, because there's a lot of jobs for accountants. But along with that, there was obstacles. What do I mean? My first job was with Price Waterhouse. And yes, it was Price Waterhouse. I go back a ways. And after a Friday at work, we went down to a happy hour at a local establishment. I walked in, I meet an attractive young lady. She said, where do you work? I said, I work at Price Waterhouse. She says, Price Waterhouse? You're an accountant? Accountants are boring. And that was 35 years ago. Today I meet this woman, Marion. Where the heck is she? And the first thing she didn't even realize, we're a bunch of accountants. She says, oh my God, accountants are boring. And you know what? They're right. I mean, we all know. You know what an extroverted accountant is? Someone who looks at your shoes while he's talking to you rather than your own. Some of you know, if a wife of an accountant can't fall asleep, what does she do? She turns to her husband and says, tell me about your day, honey. She's out like that. I had a colleague at Price Waterhouse who couldn't fall asleep. He goes to the doctor, doctor, I can't fall asleep. Doctor says, why don't you count sheep? The guy says, I do. Then I make a mistake and it takes me 3 hours to figure out what I do wrong. And then this was sad. At that happy hour I'm at, mostly young people, but there's this one middle-aged woman there. I go up to her, a little surprised why. She says, why are you here? She said, well, I had some pains, I went to the doctor. And I had a physical exam. And the doctor said, I got some bad news for you. You've got 6 months to live. She says, oh my God, what can I do? Doctor said, marry an accountant. She says, why, will that make me live longer? I said, no, but it will seem longer. So anyway, realizing what I'm getting myself into, I decided, let's straighten things out, let's go to law school and become a lawyer. Now there's another opportunity, but oh my God, talk about obstacles. I mean, the first thing I heard when I was a lawyer, you know the way lawyers practice birth control? You know the number one thing they use for birth control? Their personality. And this is a true story. I was invited to a conference in Arizona. Sounds nice, right? DLA Piper's a law firm, they host a conference. And you get a badge, they got their logo on the badge, my name. And I made a mistake. I wore the badge into a bar in the resort. And there's a crowd there. And the crowd, somebody in the crowd looks and says, what's DLA Piper? I said, it's a law firm. He said, oh, so that conference is a bunch of lawyers? I said, yeah. The guy looks at me and says, lawyers are assholes. So someone else in the crowd says, I resent that remark. So I said, oh, why, are you a lawyer? He says, no, I'm an asshole. Some other guy in the crowd, he points out, he says, see the lake out there? If there was a lawyer out there in that lake, you know what I'd throw him? Another lawyer. So, a lot of grief as a lawyer and an accountant. And then I put them together, what are we? Tax executive. When you say tax, what's the next thing you think of? Death. Death and taxes go together. You know what the difference between death and taxes is? Congress doesn't meet every year to make death worse. Okay? Einstein said, nothing is more complex than income tax. That's what we got ourselves into. But anyway, listen, I have to say I've had a good career. I get opportunities, like going to conferences. But sometimes, again, there's obstacles. This is a true story. I got invited to a conference in Palm Springs, California. Sounds beautiful. Start on a Sunday night. Can't wait to get there, right? Well, we come up with this brainstorm. Let's go to Las Vegas. Saturday, stay over, gamble, and then we'll go to Palm Springs on Sunday. So I get to Treasure Island Saturday night around 10 o'clock, walk up to the reservation desk. They say, oh, Mr. Fezza, we don't have a reservation for you. We had a reservation the night before. I said, well, I'm here, find me a room. So, well, there's a little problem. We got a NASCAR event here. And NASCAR here is bigger than the Super Bowl. We don't have a room. But we have a service, let us look for a room, leave your bag, go gamble. So I go gamble. I lose, so I'm not in a great mood. I hear my name called at 2:30 in the morning. Go to the front desk. We have a room for you. So, okay, great. Here? No. It's at a place across the street called the Happy Inn. So I grab my bag, I cross Las Vegas Boulevard, and there it is. The Happy, H-A-P-P-I, Inn. And right next to the name, in lights, are the rates by the hour. The building's all brick, with a little hole for the registration desk, with the steel bars on it. They give me a card in pencil, I gotta sign my name, give me an actual key. I go to the door, put the key in the knob, I walk in. First thing I notice, the deadbolt's gone from the door. Then I turn around, and there's the bed. Somewhat concave, you know, caved in somewhat. I look up, and there's smudges on the mirror that's on the ceiling on top of the bed. So I took the chair in the room, put it up against the door, used my suitcase as a footrest, and dozed off for a few hours until I heard a truck going by. It woke me up at 6 in the morning, and I just got the hell out of there. If you read reviews about this place, they say, you'd rather sleep in jail than sleep at the Happy Inn. But anyway, despite all that, here I am, I'm president, and I have a number of people I want to thank, most of whom are here. So if you'll allow me to thank these people. First, someone who's not here is a guy by the name of Jerry Cutter. He was my boss. He hired me at Booz Allen. I was the number 2 person. And one day he said, I want you to join TEI. And I said, fine. One question. What the heck's TEI? So he told me it's a Tax Executive Institute. And I said, well, probably good. A lot of people have felt through the years I belong in an institute. Here we are. So I joined. So I want to thank Jerry for getting me involved in TEI. But along with that, maybe go to the national conference in New Orleans, which sounds good, except I got to be a moderator at an industry session. It's like, oh my God, what do I know about this stuff? Well, the other moderator was another person who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, Fred Lesson. Now, I don't know if anybody knows Fred, but Fred is one of those people who doesn't talk much unless he has something to say, which is almost all the time. And Fred just moderated, went right through the thing. Every now and then I interject to let people know I was awake. Fred ultimately became a president of this chapter, and every year he'd call me, get more active, but I was too busy. Ultimately, he called me one day, his voice was up a couple of octaves, Tom! It was time for me to become chairman of the International Committee. So I thank Fred because he put me on the leadership committee. Next, on the leadership committee, the next person I have to thank, and you see it tonight, Mark Keelan. Mark, you can stand up and just say hi. Hi, Mark. Mark was the co-chair of the International Committee. Mark got a great Rolodex. Our job is to get speakers. Mark had them all. So he did all the work. I just introduced the speakers, tell them, listen, when we get breaks, you got to stop talking because we'd rather be on a break than listen to you. It worked well. Now, I knew Mark a little before this role because he worked at the time at Avaya. And I got a little story for you.
This is great.
I had to look for a job. This is my story. 2002, I lost my job. I like it to say I was a free agent. Over 20 years experience. I'm going to get loads of offers. I can't wait for the phone to ring. People are going to be clamoring for me. Well, the phone wasn't ringing. And one day I hear about a VP tax job at Avaya. So they were struggling to find someone. I call up the recruiting firm. The woman meets with me, says, we love you, you're one of our top 3. Okay, great. I'm going to interview in the next few weeks. A few weeks go by, I don't hear anything. I call up the woman, I say, what's going on? She says, well, they only want to interview 2 people. Guess who drew the short straw? Me. I was out of luck. Now, one thing I'll tell you right now about me, you don't want me to be frustrated. Avaya frustrated me. So I said, I got to take care of this. I wrote a letter to the CFO. Basically what I said, very humbly, I said, the person with my credentials can't get an interview. There must be something wrong with your recruiting process. So yeah, I endeared myself. A few days later, I meet one of my son's friend's father, who it so happens is an HR executive at Lucent. Avaya was a spin-off at Lucent. So I tell him my frustrations with Avaya. He says, let me check into it. Calls me up a few days later. He says, Tom, did you write a letter to the CFO? And so ended my career at Avaya. Now, postscript, Avaya lost a lot of money. The CFO lost his job. I don't want to say I'm a vengeful person, but good for that CFO. And the tax department fell apart. Mark's now Bed Bath and Beyond because of that. So anyway, a little aside here. Back to my thank yous. So now I'm on the leadership committee for a long time. I'm working with Mark. And then I get a call from the next person I want to thank. And that's this man right here, Charlie Hayes. For those of you who don't know Charlie, stand up so my son can get on camera. This is going on YouTube. No, anyway.
Yeah, there you go.
Charlie's one of these easygoing, relaxing people. You should never say no to. Never. He calls me up. He says, Tom, you want to be on the board? I said, Charlie, I think I've seen enough. I'm ready. President, Vice President, Treasurer, I'm ready to go. I said, the only thing is, I don't want to be secretary. I don't like taking notes. He says, okay, let me talk to the nominating committee. Charlie calls me half an hour later. Tom, the nominating committee wants you on the board. And then he starts to persuade me why I need to be, guess what? Secretary. So I was secretary. Anyway, because you can't say no to Charlie, and I thank you, Charlie, for putting me on the board. Next person I have to thank is Jamie Vitale. Jamie, you can stand up. She's behind you there, Tommy.
All right, I'll find her.
I replaced Jamie as secretary. Jamie's one of these people who is phenomenal with service. And I learned it quickly. I asked her how to do something. She not only told me how to do it, she did it. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. I mean, all I had to do was the minutes. We do 3 all-day conferences. It wasn't until the second one where I found out I was supposed to show up early to help her with the registrations. She did it all. She was the treasurer and kind of secretary. But before you think, she's terrific, with a little help from her husband, she got back at me. See, she was the treasurer, and our terms run July to June. And I was secretary, and I'm going to be treasurer the next year. Jamie had the gall in May to have a baby. The gall. So now what happens? The board says, Tom's going to be treasurer. Let him be treasurer now, and keep the secretary's job. So, okay, I'll do that. I go on the internet one day, go to the bank account, put in my information, and I get one of those lovely notes I'm sure you've all gotten. We don't recognize your computer, so please tell us the name of your pet. I don't know the name of my pet. How do I get that information? What do I do? Anyway, Jamie was nice enough to tell me the name of her pet. And then I had to learn something called QuickBooks. One of oxymoron, QuickBooks. What you can do in Excel in one step. QuickBooks takes 6. I got through it. I made it. I want to thank Jamie. One other thing about Jamie, she's also a very good people person. I happen to think that I am a person of character. Jamie thinks I am a character. And when she heard that I was going to be president, she didn't thank me. She didn't congratulate me. She went to Paula. She said, Paula, next year's budget, make sure you put some money in for Tom to go to charm school. My wife was thrilled to hear that. She can't wait to see the results. So Jamie, thank you. Thank you for the money. There's a whole bunch of other TEI people. It's been great help. I appreciate it all. But I don't want to move to the professional side for a moment, all right? If you think about it as an executive, what are the things that make you successful? Because listen, you're going to be active in these organizations. You got a day job to get it done. First, I have to talk is we all would like a really good admin. And I was very fortunate to have a person by the name of Karen Marchese, my admin, for 8 of the 10 years I was at Booz Allen. She was supposed to be here tonight. But unfortunately, her father died Thursday on his 87th birthday, so she couldn't be here. She was tremendously dedicated. Couldn't do enough for our whole group. We were like family, and she was the queen bee. So imagine having that at work. She would do all these different services for you, and then on top of that, she'd bring in delicious meatballs, sausage and peppers. She knew our habits. She knew I liked lemon and water. She'd bring lemons in and cut me up a lemon and put in my water. I mean, I was spoiled. She was fantastic. One day, I don't know what brought it on, she made a comment, to have a friend, you have to be a friend. And I said, that's Karen. We also wondered what fortune cookie she got that from. And sure enough, a few months later, somebody actually in a fortune cookie. So to have a friend, you have to be a friend. But that was Karen. And I want to give her a little plug. Well, let me say, as I said, she was supposed to be here tonight. And to give you an idea of the relationship we haven't worked together in 15 years, yet she was going to come. On top of that, she is a grandma. Her daughter was a varsity basketball player at St. Peter's. Carried the basketball thing a little far, because she got married. She had a baby, a daughter. Had another baby, another daughter. 3 more babies, all daughters. So, you know, the basketball thing. And then she's got a son-in-law who doesn't know how to cut his losses. He says, where's my son? So they went for number 6, which they had this year. And they got the son. So she has 6 grandchildren under the age of 10. We haven't worked together in 15 years, but she was going to be here. So she's very dedicated. And I want to give her a plug. She's worked at Booz Allen 35 years. I think she started when she was like 15 years old. Booz Allen is being bought by PwC. And a lot of people, including Karen, found out June 30th they're out of a job. So if anybody needs a really good admin, you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone better than Karen. So anyway, that's, you know, one thing I want to mention, the admin. Secondly, I think we'd all say what we'd really like to have in our professional experience is someone who's a really good right-hand person. And I've been very fortunate to have Tom Lombardi here as my right-hand person at a number of my companies. I met Tom 27 years ago. I actually replaced him. It was at a company called TW Services, based in New York. They moved to New Jersey. Tom lived in Connecticut. They made him an offer he could refuse, so he wasn't going to go to New Jersey. So they hired me. I met Tom. We hit it off right away. 3 months into my tenure at this job, we got a takeover bid. And it was the last great takeover of the 1980s. So after a year in New Jersey, the company was going to move to South Carolina. So Tom stayed on as a contractor. And I could see right away, this guy knew his stuff, and he had his priorities straight. Like, we'd get together in the morning, put an agenda together. You know what the first thing was that he wanted to know? It shows you the type of person he is and why I respect him. First thing was, where are we going for lunch today? So, anyway, that company, a little quick aside too, that company, like I said, was going to move to South Carolina. The last day they were in New Jersey, they decided, let's have a family party for all the people who worked so hard to lose their jobs because they got taken over. And we were allowed to bring our family. I had my oldest son, Andrew, was less than 2 months old. I'm carrying him around proudly. And I walk into the treasurer's attractive Australian wife, who's also carrying a baby. Turns out it's a daughter. So I turned to her and I said, maybe we can start a romance. The woman looks at me and she says, I'm married. I said to her, I was talking about the kids. Anyway, Tom went to TWA, I went to Booz Allen. 5 years later, TWA is bankrupt, and I need a good right-hand person. So I brought Tom in to Booz Allen. He was in New Jersey, he lived in Connecticut, he said, I'll come to work 3 days a week. He did tremendous work there. People love him, he was a friend, he tells me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear. He's not a yes person. And like I said, he helps me out in a lot of different ways. For example, we went to London together. And I do have this one problem. I love running around. When I sit down, I'm out. I fall asleep. So we went to see a play, Oliver, together in London. No sooner starts, I'm out. And you know, there's a scene, and when it ends, everyone's clapping. I'm asleep. Everyone clap. Go back to sleep. So I missed the whole first half. But my right-hand man was there to tell me what the first half was about. I stayed awake for the second half and I watched it. Then, that night we go to a restaurant. And we get a waitress. Well, I don't know what she spoke. I couldn't understand her. Couldn't understand at all. Going through the dinner, and finally I wanted to order cream brulee. And I turned to her, I said, how's it served? She gave me an answer. I said, I had no idea what she said. I said, I'll take it. He starts cracking up. He says, you know what she said? I said, no. So what did she say? She said, it's served in a bowl. So that's my right-hand man. He's here as well. He keeps trying. So anyway, I stayed 7 more years at Booz. He wound up full-time, stayed 19 years. Okay? They loved him there. 2 years ago, he saw the handwriting on the wall with the takeover, as I mentioned before. I had an opportunity at Moody's for him, so I brought him to Moody's. And again, he's made me look great. People love him. He's my right-hand man, so I want to thank Tom, not only for the work, but the friendship. We have a great time together. And you want to know how to do pranks, he's the man. All right? Last thing on the professional side is, we all know what's very important to be a successful tax executive. You need a good advisor. Very important. And I was very lucky to meet Jack Rothstein 11 years ago. I was working at a company called Centennial Communications, which, by the way, was the company I wound up with when Avaya, gave me the heave-ho, right? Centennial had a very large telecom, not well known, but very large presence in Puerto Rico. And I go to Puerto Rico, beautiful weather. We're at the Ritz-Carlton, overlooking the ocean, beautiful pool. Then you go to meetings in these air-conditioned offices, you're freezing your butt off. This is ridiculous. We should have meetings outside by the pool at Ritz-Carlton. Jack listens to these things. And Jack came up with an idea that California tax savings was the best tax saving strategy for Centennial Communications. He got his expert, this woman from California, to come in, and myself, and we had a meeting on Jack's boat. The guy listens. 2 hours, trolling around the Raritan River. We had a great meeting. We docked the boat, we jump in his car, and we head to the US Open tennis in Flushing. We go to the PWC box, we watch the day matches. Now it's night. What's Andy Roddick is going to play? Jack looks at me, he says, want to try to get better seats? I said, how do we do that? He says, come on. So we're walking along, there's these pair of doors intermittently, and he says, see these doors? And there's a security guard in front of the doors. So we got to find one where the security guard is distracted or not there. 3 doors later, the security guard's talking to an attractive woman. Jack and I, like speeding bullets, through those doors, down the stairs. Next thing you know, we're 2 rows behind the baseline at the US Open, sitting next to Andy Roddick's personal photographer, who he got so friendly with, he ultimately sent an autographed picture of Andy Roddick to my son Andrew. And what I learned about Jack after that is he's a man who, when he gets a ticket to an event, it's an admission ticket. He wants to get the best seat. We used to compete to see who had the strategies to get the best ticket. But this is my kind of an advisor. So, I can't thank Jack enough for all the advice. I mean, the tax advice is good. But getting the best seats in the house when you got seats way upstairs, nothing gets better than that. One other thing, I want to give him a plug. He's been retired for what, 5 years? 5 years. Which means he hasn't worked for 6, all right? if you want to know how to do retirement, this is the guy to talk to. I mean, he's busier than he's ever been. Can never get him, so he knows how retirement is. Anyway, that's the professional side. Now the last, you can all take a sigh early, the last is the personal side. I have when you think about your personal side, very important that you have the right friends and family to support you. If you don't have that, it makes work a struggle. And I've been truly blessed in my lifetime. I have a lot of friends that I've known 30 or more years, and who are like brothers to me. And one of the best is Rocco Rossitano here. Rocco was also on the board here at TEI. We grew up in Brooklyn. We went to the same high school, same year, same classes. So what are the odds of that, right? Now, how did we become friends? What did I see in Rocco that I really liked? We had a biology class. We had a teacher of biology. That's not. Don't get your expectations up. Anyway, this teacher didn't like to teach standing up. What he'd like to do is hoist himself onto the lab table, bang his butt down, and teach sitting on the lab table. After a little time in the class, Rocco was a creative guy, decided we need a little entertainment. So before the teacher came in, put a large tack on the lab table. And let me tell you, perfect. Guy landed on that thing, and you never saw a teacher fly over the lab table so fast. Rocco was a real man. When the teacher asked who did it, 20 fingers pointing at Rocco, and he did it. But I said, this guy is my friend, no question. The other big impact Rocco had on my life, he invited me to his house one day. We go in his room, and he had a plaque in there. Once I saw this plaque, I said, that's so important to me. What the plaque said is, if you can't dazzle them with your brilliance, then baffle them with your bullshit. Well, I've been baffling people for over 40 years because of that plaque. Now, I do have an issue with Rocco. We spent a lot of time together, but the issue I have with him is he tells his daughter Samantha about all our escapades. Samantha, by the way, is a very lucky young lady. I'm her godfather. In fact, I met her boyfriend Gavin. I said, be careful with her. or I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. Anyway, in a way, because Rocco has told Samantha all of my escapades, or our escapades, I'm actually a role model to her. Because what she says is, if Tom Fezza could do all the things he did, and have some degree of success that he has, there's hope for us all. Right, Samantha? So, she may not look up to me, but I'm a role model. Anyway, Rocco, we've had a lot of fun together. And hopefully we'll have much, much more. Next, I have 3 sons. I have to talk about each of them. Because, you know, they're my sons. First is my son, Andrew. When he was born, it was the greatest thrill of my life. Firstborn. I actually thought nothing could surpass the feeling I had being at the 7th game of the World Series in 1986 when the Mets won the World Series. Separate apart from being married.
Thank you. Thank you.
But then he was born. And my mother always used to say about me that I was born with ants in my pants. Well, he was very much the same. He'd lie down on the table, kicking his legs. There's a picture of him at a month or 2 holding a picture of me at a month or 2. And by the way, that picture of me a month or 2, I'm a celebrity. That picture was in the Journal American. It was a paper that's now defunct. I won the Funny Baby Picture Contest with a caption that said, "Next time I'll get a crew cut." I had so much hair. My parents brought me in, they won $10. That was a long time ago, and $10 meant something. But anyway, Andrew, terrific kid. I made one mistake with him. I was a little liberal. I said, "You like baseball over ballet? We're okay." He wound up turning into a Yankee fan. Rough. In case you don't know, I'm somewhat of a Met fan. Somewhat. Anyway, at least he's a humble Yankee fan. But he's given me tremendous thrills. He went to Elon University, majored in marketing. He's a huge sports fan. Last August, he embarked on a project. It's going to take 4 or 5 years. He wants to go to a home game for every professional sports team in the 4 major sports. He's got a website, ultimatefantour.com. He blogs. You want to learn about the team, the arena, the fans, the food, etc., etc. He writes about it. So he's gone all over America, and he's got another 3 or 4 years to go. Anyway, Andrew, I'm so proud of you. He's a marketing executive at Avid Exchange, a company based in Charlotte. So that's Andrew. Next to him is my son, Tommy.
Hello.
Tommy
I'll just do that.
is Mr. Fix-It. It is amazing that a guy like me, who can't hammer a nail straight into a wall, has a kid who's so unbelievably intuitive about fixing things. I mean, he was 3 years old. We bought him Connects, Legos, erector set. I take out the instructions. All right, number 1, Dad, we don't need instructions. The kid's building house, cars. In 6th grade, he built a roller coaster out of Connects that won some award at a science fair. He's ruined my grass the last few years by building a hockey rink in our backyard. No instructions. He's just unbelievable the way he is. He also gave me, and I think anyone who's a parent will appreciate this, he gave me one of the proudest moments of my life. He was working at a gourmet deli, and the owner, at the time, had an 8-year-old son, came up to me and he said, "I hope someday that someone will come to me and say to me what I'm going to say to you." And basically he told me what a wonderful employee, individual, conscientious, hardworking person Tommy is. And I think you'd say, you know, as a parent, it doesn't get better than that. Recently I said to Tommy, I said, "You know, Tommy, of the 3 boys, you're the least like me."
So good looking.
He looked at me, he put a proud smile on his face, and he said, "Thanks, Dad." He's a junior at Monmouth University. He majors in business with a concentration in real estate. So if any real estate mavens are looking for a young up-and-coming real estate person, it's him. But by the way, I forgot to mention about Andrew. The one thing about Andrew, too, my oldest, I just want to mention real quickly. He thinks I have the worst sense of humor in the world. So I guess I'm proving it to him tonight. Anyway, my 3rd son, 21 years old, he's a junior at Northeastern. He couldn't be here tonight. You know, social event at Northeastern, seeing Dad, what's more important? He's up at Northeastern. He sent his regrets and his latest tuition bill. But he's an unbelievable kid. He's my playmate. Really, even at 21, we have tremendous fun together. We've gone to ball games like you wouldn't believe. When he was a young kid, we'd ask him, what do you want to eat? He said, anything that I like. One of the things he liked was steak. And we were in a restaurant in Arizona, he ordered steak. And the waitress turned around to me and said, how do you like that? He must have been 5 years old. I said, medium. He looked at me and said, Daddy, can we make it large? People, when they meet him, call him a clone. Quick example. I'm sitting next to the hitting coach of the Mets at a dinner, Kevin Long. And it was at the time the Mets had just won 11 in a row at 13-3, and Kevin says to me, hey, aren't we doing great, blah, blah, blah. I thought, I gotta calm this guy down. I said, yeah, it is good, but I'd like to be 16-0. After the dinner, I call up my son, Chris, and I said, Kevin, listen, fuss this chops. I give him the phone, and Kevin's talking, blah, 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 and Kevin says, the 13-3 thing. What does Chris reply? We should be 16-0. I mean, you don't rehearse this stuff. But, you know, he's very much like me, although I think it's an insult to call him a clone, because actually I think he's better than me. So anyway, those are my 3 sons. Now, my father always told me, behind every successful man is a shocked mother-in-law. That's my father told me. My mother was one of 3 sisters. My father used to love to brag that he was his mother-in-law's 3rd best son-in-law. He was a man of a lot of quips. I'd come home and brag, I got something for free, well, it didn't cost me much. He'd say, Tom, be careful. It's what you gain on the hot dog, you lose on the bun. When my sons were approaching college years, he went up to them and said, boys, remember, if you want to go to Penn State, not the state pen. As he got older, he started to slow down driving. I said, Dad, what's the matter? He says, Tom, when you're 40, you want to go 80. When you're 80, you want to go 40. He said to me, you know those golden years? They're not gold. They're rust. He said, when I was younger, I was a stand-up comic, but now I'm a sit-down grouch. My parents were invited to my youngest brother-in-law's wedding. They sat at the table and knew nobody. And I got to tell you, in the space of 5 minutes, that table was roaring. My father joking. When the wedding was over, my father walked up to one of the people he met, his arm out to the person, looked him in the eyes, and with all sincerity said to him, it's your pleasure to meet me. I knew he was joking, but I was watching this. I said, you know, he's right. My father served in World War II, married my mother right after the war. They were married 56 years till my mother died. We had a lot of love, a lot of warmth, a lot of hugs and kisses in my house. A lot of fun, a lot of things that we were thrilled to have in the house. It was a great house to grow up in. And my father would have been here tonight, except 5 years ago, he broke a rule he told me. In that rule, he said, Tom, when you go to the cemetery, make sure it's a round trip. That's what he told me. Unfortunately, 5 years ago, the man upstairs gave him a one-way ticket. So I'm sure he and my mother, looking down, a little shocked that I'm here as president. One other thing I gotta say about my father, too, and I forgot to mention this. When I was 18, he impressed me. Think about that. How many 18-year-olds, boys or girls, are impressed by their parents? My father's an accountant. He became the president of the Brooklyn chapter of the National Association of Accountants when I was 18. And they had a member booklet that they provided. And on the front was this eloquent letter that he wrote. And I thought, can I ever be anything like him? So like I said, they're probably looking down a little shocked that I'm coming close. Not quite, but I'm coming close. Anyway, lastly, I have to thank my wife, Joanne. As you can probably imagine, she puts up with a lot. As I said, we have 3 sons, and a lot of people watch our family. And people, particularly women, go up to her and say, you know, it must be really tough to raise 4 boys. Believe it or not, a couple weeks ago, we celebrated our 30th wedding anniversary. Can you believe that? 30th wedding. And we did it in style. First, she gave me this card. That really pissed me off.
Oh, it's gold. Gold.
It was a picture of a guy opening a refrigerator door. And in the door, in the refrigerator are sticks of butter all over the place. And the caption, "Where's the butter?" Because I don't like looking for any. I mean, that annoyed me. But anyway, I got over it. We celebrated in style. She poured a glass of wine. I took the TV remote. That was rule number 1 in our house. We sat on the couch. We watched the Mets, the Rangers, and we competed with each other who could stay awake the longest. It was just a beautiful evening. Anyway, people ask me, what attracted you to Joanne, besides the fact she's very pretty? And there were 3 things. 3 things that I said, this is it. Number 1, when she first observed, this is going to shock you. When she first observed me, she thought I was obnoxious. And I like a challenge. And let me tell you, you got no place to go but up if you start knowing obnoxious. That was number 1. Number 2, we're in a car, 6 of us in the car. She's in, I'm there, 4 other people. And I don't know why. Start talking about the Mets. And she starts naming the 69 Mets. Well, you know that moment in your life, Cupid hits you in the heart. Oh my God, I can't, wow, this girl, pretty, 69 Mets. I started a date. I was thinking, I'll wait till the end of the summer. I better not. That was number 2. Number 3, she sits at a big party at her house. She's gonna make lasagna. Now, I'm Italian, she's Irish. And as an Italian, you hear an Irish girl's gonna make lasagna. You're worried sick. I was worried to death. I said, I gotta be polite and eat some of this. I'm gonna get sick. And it gets worse because I've been over her house a few times when her mother made dinner. Now, I'm not gonna say her mother's a bad cook, but meatloaf that glows in the dark. Alright? Irish Catholic family, they said prayers after dinner. I asked one of her brothers, what's your mother's specialty? He said, indigestion. One day the mother turned around to one of the brothers and said, throw out the garbage. The kid turned around and said, Mom, you made it, you throw it out. Anyway, I ate the lasagna, you know what? It was damn good. I couldn't believe it, and the sauce was good. So I said, you know what? That means time to get married. So here we are. Joanne is caring, compassionate, loving, congenial, patient, not competitive. Said another way, if you Google opposites attract, our picture is there. We are opposites. But anyway, Joanne, thank you so much. Joanne's been a tremendous supporter. Even when she annoys me, she's generally right. Like a friend of mine said, I knew when I get married, I'd marry Miss Right. I just didn't know her first name was always. But I am very fortunate. I love you. Thank you so much. And with that, we do have a bunch of boring accountants here. So we want to get them, you got a little Born to Be Alive, this is my theme song, to get these people up. You know? Hopefully you digest, but I hope you digested your food. Because we got a Venetian table. The reason I talked a little longer than I should have probably, you digest, we got dessert and a Venetian table. But if you start by dancing a little bit, put that music on. And then, anyway, I want to thank all of you for patiently listening to me. That's not the one I meant, but that's close enough. That's a good song too. Thank you, everybody.